Hey, everybody. So today, oh my goodness, what do we even want to talk about today? We got a lot of stuff to talk about today, which is good. We also have some things that we want to revisit today. Hey, Miss Bethany, how are you, darling? We got some things we want to revisit today. Hey, Miss Pam. And so we're excited. I don't know where Joe is. Where's Joe? Hey, Joe, where you at, Joe? Um, so, at the end of the day, what we really want to, hey, Ali, how are you? What we really want to do is deliver content that all of you guys get something from. So um, something that you can take away from the things that we do here on this live. So, hey, Terry, we we call it Crypto Let's Talk because Joe and I are both in crypto. And, at the end of the day, we really want to make sure that people are understanding and living in the new world that's coming. So it is our belief that crypto is the new world, right? That it's what's coming. And so we want people to be prepared as best as possible and understand what's happening in our little world, which is kind of cool. Also, we want people to to learn. So we want to basically hand guide you, if you will. Okay. So I'm just going to go until Joe gets here. And if Joe doesn't get here, we'll just assume that he's having some technical difficulties today. And we'll send out love and wishes to him because we love him and we want him to be a happy person with us. So, yeah. So I downloaded Zoom. Hey, Ali, I downloaded Zoom and also sign in. Okay. So, Ali, we'll talk about that after the live. We'll address that after live. Okay, buddy? So, all right. Hey, Chuck, nice to see you. So, I want to talk to you guys and gals today about something that, I really want you to feel like you're staying busy the right way. Okay. So what do I mean by that? So often it is easy for us to get derailed. It is easy for us um, to see things, something shiny and go in this direction. And so we feel like we're busy. We feel like we're accomplishing a whole lot. And then at the end of the day, what's actually happening is we're getting pulled away from what we shouldn't be pulled away from and pulled in a direction that we don't need to go. So those of you who know me, those of you who work with me closely, you know that I'm constantly trying to better myself. I'm constantly trying to improve, Kris, right? Like I want to make sure that, at the end of the day, I'm getting what I need to get. So personal development is in every day's calendar, right? Hey, Jeff. So, we talked last week. About getting. Hey, Jeremy, nice to see you. We talked last week about being able to set our calendars up, right? So to kind of give ourselves an outline. And I suggested that everybody take a notebook, right? So a notebook, and just kind of list out your day because everybody's day looks different. Okay. So what did you do? Did you start with the time that you got up? And did you end with the time that you go to bed? Or did you start with the time that you want to go to work and end with the time that you want to stop? I would argue that those folks that listed their time from the time they got up to the time that they go to bed are accomplishing way more in their day and realized doing this exercise, they realized that they had more time in their schedule to get a few other things done. right? And, things don't have to be dead set in a specific time, right? So like, for instance, I get up at 5:30 every morning. I'm up by 5:30 every morning. So I'll talk to you guys about the first little bit of my day. Okay. Thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate that. Love you, man. So when I get up at 5:30, my feet hit the floor. The first thing I do is thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm just saying thank you for all these different things. And it changes every morning, right? And so I'm thanking the universe, I'm thanking God, I'm thanking the creator, I'm thanking whatever it is that you believe in. I'm thanking and I'm hearing myself thank for all of these things, right? So it starts my day in a very thankful, grateful kind of way. And so I make my way into the kitchen, I hit the coffee pot, I get the pots and pans out for breakfast, I turn on the lights, turn on the TV in the living room for noise, because at that hour of the morning it is dead silent in here, let me tell you. And so I let everybody else sleep. Hey, Craig. Hey, Richard. So I let everybody else sleep, and I sit in front of my computer. And like I said last week when I was talking about doing this, I start doing the things that work for Kris. Okay. So I put up my good morning post, and I do that because it makes me feel good to say hello, to tell everybody that I hope they have a great day. Someone asked me, well, where do you get all of that stuff? Well, I search online, right, for something that impacts me that morning, and I use that visual, but the writing is all me. I mean, like whatever comes to my mind first thing in the morning, that's fresh. So I just start typing, and sometimes there's some errors in there because it's 5:30 in the morning, right? And I'm not as good at spell check and proofreading my work like I preach to my son to do, and I should be better at it. Hey, Miss Dawn. So at the end of the day, all of that writing is me. So I do that, and then I do a grateful post, and I do a law of attraction post, because the law of attraction is good for Kris. It may not work for you, but it's good for me. So I'm putting that stuff out there. And then, I help him get ready for school. We get his breakfast. We get him dressed. We get his teeth brushed. We got to spike his hair. We got to get his shoes on, get him out the door, make sure he's got snacks, make sure his book bag is packed. So all of that is done by 7:30 in the morning. So from 5:30 to 7:30 in the morning, it is exactly what that it's the same every morning. So I don't move too much on that. All right. So then usually Jeff will take our son to school, and I will get my breakfast and some more coffee, and get my day started. Make the bed. I go make the bed. Okay. The bed has to be made every day. The day doesn't start unless your bed is made. Okay. And then I get dressed, brush my teeth, all those things that you do in the morning. So that's kind of, those things are kind of, we know those things are going to happen between 5:30 and 8:30 every morning. The same thing's going to happen. No problem. Well, now the rest of the day, I'm more or less write to-do lists, right? So, for instance, today I've got on my to-do list to do my live, touch at least 5 new people, which it looks like 5, 6, 7. I'm ahead of schedule. I've got 7 so far. Make my list of things I want to talk about. Do some research on new platforms. Okay, so research on the industry. And I had three very important calls that I had to take care of today. And so all of that stuff is kind of like on a to-do list instead of certain times, unless it has to be a specific time. Hey, Mafuz, good to see you. Hey, Ellie, good to see you. So, those things are on my list. They're more of a to-do list, right? Mm-hmm. And so, yes, sir. Got you, Jeremy. No worries. So, and then of course, some things happen at certain times. Like I try not to schedule anything around the 3 o'clock time in the afternoon for me, because that's the time that my son gets home from school, and we sit down and we do homework. And so homework is anywhere from 3 to 4 or 3 to 5, depending on, where his mind is and how much homework he's got to do and all of that good stuff. So I try not to schedule anything business during that time. And then, of course, we eat by 6 because he's a very scheduled child and he needs to eat by 6. If it's 6:01 and dinner's not on the table, he wants to know where it is. And and then after that, we have bed and bath and prayers, and we don't miss prayers. So he goes to bed at 8 o'clock. So, I have to schedule stuff around like 10 minutes to 8. I need to be gearing my way into the bedroom because he's had his bath, he's had his teeth brushed, he's in his pajamas, and he's ready to go to bed and do prayers. So, that's kind of a rough outline, and a whole lot of things change in there on a daily basis, and that's good. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to tell you is that I do my schedule from 5:30 in the morning till the time I go to bed. And I usually try to be in bed between 9 and 10 o'clock at night, Eastern Standard Time, just because that's a long enough day, really. So I don't always hit that time because things get moved around in my day, but that's okay. Because what I do is I make sure that I get my to-do list done. So if I haven't checked everything off of my to-do list, then my day just got a little longer at the end of the day. That's how it works. Okay. So now, in saying that, it's very helpful for most people to see that, and then they could see all these different times where there are gaps, and they're like, "Oh my God, I can wash the car, I can go to the grocery store, I can clean the bathroom, I can vacuum the house, I can vacuum the screens on the lanai," whatever it is that makes you happy. Okay, so that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. I wanted to revisit scheduling a little bit, just to make sure that everybody's on task and that they got the meaning behind what it was that I was trying to do. Okay. So another thing that I want to talk to you guys and gals about today is a thing that in my own self-development, I got reminded of. Okay. So I got reminded of this thing that we really all should be doing. Okay. And so, how many people have been told no, right? Have had an objection, right? Give me some likes and some hearts go across the screen. Let me know that you guys have been rejected. So what does that look like exactly? And why is that such a big deal? Well, it's a big deal because what I want you guys to do, and this is something that I've done in the past. Thank you for the thumbs up and the hearts. This is something that I've done in the past, and I refreshed my memory in my own self-development. And so what it's called is the objection card, right? So what you do basically is you get some index cards, okay? And on these index cards, you write objection across the front, right? And whatever the objections are that you're getting, and there's usually a handful, there's probably 5 that you hear the most, right? It's a pyramid scheme, might be one. It costs too much. I don't have the money. 2. I don't know enough about it. 3. These are the kind of objections. So that you're going to write on the index card, you're going to write objection on the top, and you're going to write out what that objection is, okay? And then on the back, you're going to write the rebuttal. So you're going to write rebuttal across the top of the back. And what I want you to do is I want you to sit down and research, really research. I don't want you to just shoot off the hip with your answer. I want you to research and come up with the best answer to the objection, right? And then what I want you to do is I want you to write it out in the best possible form for you to remember it. And then what you're going to do is once you get these cards assimilated, you're going to use them almost like flashcards, okay? And you can get your spouse, your children, your best friend, your coffee date, whoever, to kind of just flash them, okay? And so they're going to hold up a card and it's going to have an objection on the front. You're going to read that objection and then you're going to give them the rebuttal, okay? Why would I even suggest that you do that? Because this is what happens. When someone says no, or someone gives you an objection, you immediately become the deer in the headlights, right? So you just, you freeze, right? You freeze. So you need to overcome that freeze moment. And it's just a moment, okay? It's just, you're not expecting it, or you're not wanting it, or you're not even thinking about it, and it happens. And so it throws you off for a minute. And then you're like, okay, how do I handle this? How do I respond? So if you do this and you do this well enough, you will get just like this with those objections. I mean, just like this. You'll have the answers, no problem. Okay. And so the reason I want you to get good at that is because you know the answers. You got involved in whatever business you're in because you love it. You saw opportunity. You saw passion. You saw the ability to help others. There's a whole list of things that you saw, okay? And we'll talk about what you saw in a minute. But remember, Joe and I were talking about yesterday on his whiteboard, remember? Who do you know? Okay, who do you know? So you want to, once you become very good at your objections and your rebuttals, you want to sit down and say, who do you know that's going to have this response, this objection? And write their name down. Make a list, you know? So, because you want to get good at that objection, and then you want to contact those people that are going to have that objection. And the reason is because your confidence level is up, right? Your bravado is good. You're ready. No worries. And so this is going to help you propel your business. Okay. Now, who do you know? Let's talk about who do you know for a second. So who do you know that that needs to make $250 a week extra? You're looking for that person, right? You're literally looking for that person. Who do you know that needs a side hustle worse than anybody else that you know? You're looking for that person. Okay. Remember, who do you know? So you want to do that. And then what I want you to do after you have gotten your cards, okay, your flashcards, if you want to call them flashcards, I call them objection cards. Once you do that, you can actually get out a piece of paper on your handy dandy little notebook, right, with your pen, and you can write down all of the things that got you excited about your business. So just list them out. Just sit down with a cup of coffee, take a break, take a load off. You've been vacuuming, dusting all day long. You know, you've been cleaning, doing laundry, all that good stuff. So I want you to take a coffee break and just sit down and write down all the things you loved about this business opportunity that you are in. Okay. And then who do you know? Okay. Who do you know? So then after you've got a pretty good list, right? Because you're going to come up with, I bet you're going to come up with a minimum of 10 reasons why you did it. And I would go out on a limb and say that most of you are going to come up with at least 20 reasons why you did it. And then there are going to be some exceptional people out there that'll come up with even more than that. Okay. And so once you've got your list of why it is, what you loved about your business, what you love about your opportunity, you're reminding yourself, basically, mentally, you're going backwards a little bit, okay? Because you've been in it for a while, so you've forgotten your passion. So now you're a little bit more passionate. So now you're going to sit there and you're going to actually say to yourself, okay, who do I know that would think this exact same reason, right? Who do I know? Put their name beside it. You know, if it's extra cash flow, maybe your brother needs extra cash flow. So you write brother, you know? Who do I know that that loves educating people? I'm using my opportunity now. Who do I know that loves educating people? Maybe it's your kid's teacher. Maybe it's one of your past mentors or teachers. Maybe it's a network marketer that you know. So you just write them down beside that. Okay. A lot of people in the industry would call this a memory jogger. I'm not going to call it a memory jogger. What I'm going to refer to it as is this. It's a tool to help you remember the things that you need to remember. See, what happens is once we get involved with a business, we take off 3,000 miles an hour, right? Our foot has the gas pedal all the way to the floor and we are wide open. And then as we get in the business and as our glitter, our passion tends to dwindle down a little bit, we start lifting that foot off the accelerator some as we start getting slower and slower and slower. And really all we need to do to get back to that place that we were when we first saw the opportunity that we saw and we first got excited and got in, is just remember. So memory joggers, right? Or memory makers or whatever you want to call this is exactly why you do these activities. Okay. And you don't just do this activity because I said, hey, let's do this activity. You don't do that. Okay. You make this part of your regiment. So maybe once a week you revisit. Okay. And don't cheat. Don't use your old list. Okay. Of reasons why you got involved. No, make a new one. Okay. So every week, maybe you remind yourself what you love about your business. And, as you grow in your business, these things might change. These answers, well, they will change. Okay. So your answers are going to change. That's okay. Guess what? When your answers change, new people get inserted where those answers change because now you have something more effective, right? You have a firmer confidence. You have a firmer belief in what you're doing. And so that allows you to open up. So you want your arms wide open. Okay. You want to be accepting. You want to be grateful. You want to be committed. You want to be in the moment. Okay. Right. So that is one of the things that I think will help a lot. Now, these objection cards, I have actually seen people do this. Once they've gotten good with their objections, right? They've actually gone to a printer. And instead of business cards, they had a foldable card. So it's got a seam in it, right? And they had the objection on the front. Then they had the rebuttal on the back. And inside of it, they had their name, their website, and their phone number. Okay. Or maybe their email address or whatever their preferred contact method is. And they put that on the inside. And then they fold these. And then instead of giving people business cards, you kind of know or figure out which objection is the person that you're getting ready to hand a card to, right? And usually after a minute or two conversation with somebody, you kind of know where their mind is. So you take that card and you give it to them and you leave it with them, right? You're done. You're done. And so, this is good for a lot of people because they will actually hand those out before they hand out a business card. And it's just another tool. Now, personally, I'm not going to hand out those cards to people, but I will use them to get better, right? I will use them to get better with my rebuttals. Okay. So that's one of the biggest things that I wanted to talk to everybody about. I also wanted to revisit yesterday. We talked about being customers, and everything that I've talked about today kind of ties into being a customer. Okay. So you've got to remember that you're constantly a customer. Okay. You're constantly the person that's learning. And whenever you run into a pitfall or a road bump or a detour, you want to write that down, right? In your trusty little notebooks, right? And you want to write that down because you want to remember it, number one. But number two, that just became a new tool for you to be able to expand your business with, okay? Because you're growing. And as long as you're growing, then everything happens for a reason, right? All good things come to those who grow. So that's a really good thing to do. So that ties us back into that money makers. So I know that I actually had some messages from some of you guys and gals that talked to me or messaged me about what we were talking about yesterday, in the fact that you could make money in the middle of the Red Sea. And even Rob Harris was on here yesterday, and he even did a follow-up video live about one of the coins that was at like 35% growth yesterday. Okay, and the reason for that growth, which I didn't say yesterday, but I'll go ahead and confirm it today. The reason for that growth was because Binance picked up that particular token. Okay, so Binance actually picked it up, and Binance is a big exchange, so it was on some of the smaller exchanges, and it still had activity. But when Binance picked it up, it bumped it up to the next level, and people started saying, let me get some of this. So so that's kind of how we are in this industry. We're constantly trying to extend our hand, right? And shake your hand and bring you with us. Okay, we want to bring you with us. So the idea behind our business, specifically cryptogenics and education, and we've had this conversation a couple different times, but we get asked all the time, right? One of the rebuttals is why, or one of the objections should be on your cards, why should I pay $300 for the education that I can get online for free by just, searching and things of that nature? Well, I'm going to tell you exactly why. Number one, the education that you're going to get from cryptogenics that, you're going to pay $250 for as a customer or $300 for as a promoter is going to excel your business and your ability to create funds in the crypto world by light years. For those of you who know my story, you know that I've been in the industry over a year now, and I took 9 pages of notes on Bitcoin 101. Okay. And I thought that was going to be the easiest module for me. But those first 15 lessons, I took 9 pages of notes on. I probably wrote a script for most of those actual lessons. But that's okay, because in writing, I remembered. I passed all my tests. That was months ago. We just took the test last week. I passed them with flying colors. So it must have sank in, right? So the reason that you want to give to people is, yes, you can go online and you can search it yourself, but do you know who you're following? Do you know if they're, trying to pull a scam? Do you know if they're just trying to get into your wallet? Do you know if they're just trying to get your keys? Do you know if they just want to steal your Bitcoin and or USD? Do you know that they have actually proven the information that they're putting out? Like, do they have any proof, right? So proof of work, POW, do they have any? Credibility, how much money have they made in the industry? You could be listening to someone who's made nothing. So, with that being said, what I would like to offer here is people to understand that if you want to take the shortcut, and this is just, and everybody wants things to be easy. Okay. We all want it to be easy, right? So I guess the best answer to why should I pay the $300 to cryptogenics for the education is because you want things to be easy. That's the best answer you can give. You want things to be easy because it really does simplify and make things easy. So when you do that, right? When you do that, you are you're propelling, you're excelling that new student. But remember, they're a customer just like you are. Okay, because you were a customer first, you are still a customer, regardless of whether you're a promoter, a CEO of your very own business, you're still a customer. Okay, so this is the type of thing that we need to harness. This is not something that we just regurgitate. This is not something that we just say. This is something that we know. This is something that we have faith in. This is something that we have conviction about. This is something that that allows you to be able to help others, right? And and not have to answer the same questions over and over and over and over again. Okay, so Ali says, so if a person has the knowledge and he wants to teach others, what would he do? And this is what I tell team, and this is what I tell anybody in cryptogenics. This is what I tell anybody in any business. Okay, if you can replicate, all right, if you can clone yourself, okay, where you can spend less time physically doing the same repetitive motions and or teachings, okay, yes, you have just done yourself a huge service. So the way that I look at this is not just an education for me, okay? I look at it as education for team, right? Because before cryptogenics came along, I probably answered the same question 100 times easily, 100 times easily, probably several hundred times, okay? Additionally to that, when you have a proven system that you can point to, you just become a pointer, okay? So you go on building your business, you go on trading your cryptos, you go on creating your daily income, but you've introduced people to crypto, and now they have an education system that you can point them to, okay? And they're all getting the same consistent information, the same consistent information. That's huge. That's really huge. And the reason that that's huge is because you want everybody to have the same message. You want everybody to get the same thing. Okay, right now, there are 30-some people watching right now. I bet you if I sent, I'm going to pick on somebody. Let me just look and see whose name I see. Richard. Okay, I bet you if I sent Richard a message in Messenger, Facebook Messenger, right? Unless he copied and pasted it to every single other person on this live right now, by the time it got to the last person, it would be nothing like what I said. Okay. Now that gets even crazier when you do it in person. Okay. Like talking, that gets even crazier because people they say what they interpret. They don't say what they know is to be the truth or to be fact. Okay. So I may give you a sentence of 20 words of fact, okay? And there are 30 people on here, and by the time it gets to the 30th person, and we're all talking now, okay? There's not one single original word of that 20 words of fact in whatever the 30th person gets. Now, we used to do that in school. We would start something at the beginning of a row, and it would go up and down the rows, right? And it would go all the way to the end on the other side, okay? Here's what is important about that. When you have a duplicatable system, you can teach a team of 2,000 or a team of 20 by pointing. That's it. Just point. You point them to the information. They get the exact same information as John got, Mary got, Bethany got, Joshua got, Jason got, Mafuz got, Kris got, Kathy got, Jason Mangan got. Everybody gets the same exact information. Now, will everybody get the same results? No. Why? Because they interpret the information that they received in a manner that behooved them. So they allow their emotion to get involved, right? You need to cut the emotion out. You need to be able to accept the information, okay? So receive it, analyze it, regurgitate it, and then put it to use, okay? And then you need to do that repetitively. So the best thing that cryptogenics did, the best thing the Core 5 has done for us in cryptogenics is allow us to be able to go back and take these courses, these classes, these lessons over and over and over again. Why? Because when you get busy, 90 days from now, you're going to forget something that you'll be able to go back to Okay. And when you go back to it, you're going to be able to take that lesson again, and it's going to be, oh yeah, that's right. How could I be so dumb? I forgot that, right? Like I forgot it. And that's okay. We're human, right? We don't retain 100% of anything. Okay. Now, you cannot go back and take the test, but you can go back and repetitively take the classes over and over. And I'm going to actually see if there's any way to reset that to where we can take the classes over again if we want to. But I'm gonna see about that. I'm gonna put a question into the Core 5 about that, because there's been several people that have said that would be helpful to them, to be able to go through those tests with students, with themselves, just to know which ones they got right or wrong. So we'll see. But here's the thing. When I heard about what is now cryptogenics, okay, and this is testimony. So when I heard about what is now cryptogenics, hey, Darnell, good to see you, buddy. It didn't have a name. It was a concept. It was an idea. As a matter of fact, in the beginning, we actually thought we were going to call it something else. And that didn't happen because, well, there was the glitch. There was something holding us back from being able to do that. No worries. Cryptogenics is a great name. So when I saw it, and I didn't see anything, bear this in mind. I saw nothing on paper, nothing on a computer screen. All I got was a conversation between myself and 2 Core 5 people. Okay. 2 of the Core 5 and myself on a call. And they were just letting me ask questions, and they were giving me information. And I saw it. I saw it up here. And the first thing I said was, this is huge, y'all. Do you know what you are doing? Do you realize that you are putting together, you're going to create, we are going to take to the world an education system that will be duplicatable, that everybody will be able to use, and we can build our businesses and create financial income, financial wins, right? We can do that because we're not spending all of our time training our people, because this is going to train our people. Oh my God. It was the biggest light bulb of them all. I love that moment. I revisit that moment on a daily basis. Look, I get goosebumps. Look, goosebumps. Spirit bumps, y'all. You can see them too. I got big ones. I revisit that on a daily basis, that moment in time, because that was my moment. That was my aha moment. Okay. And because of that moment, I can continue to share. I can continue to be excited. I can continue to get the nose and go right on. Okay. Because I know that I've got in my back pocket something nobody else has got. I have a duplicatable system. I have a system that everyone can plug into, right? Everybody can take advantage of. Everybody can plug into it. And guess what? They get the same information that I got, and then they can plug their people in, and they're going to get the exact same information that they got and that I got and that the people before me got, which there aren't many people before me, just so you know. But, I'm third in the company, so there were 2 people before me. But, that's not the point. The point is that, it is a moment in time. There are two great moments in time. There's the moment when you get into your business, and there's the moment when your business gets into you. And I wasn't even in the business, and the business got into me, because I love to help other people. I love to help other people. Okay. And so education is a part of helping other people. So with that, I say, revisit your aha moment every day. Revisit it. Remember it. Get those goosebumps. Okay. Remember why you're doing what you're doing daily. Okay. And you can't do that if you don't revisit where you came from. Now, I've been in all kinds of businesses. I've never had a duplicatable system like this. Yeah, they've had websites, and they've had trainings, and they've had videos, and they've had tools, but it was nothing like this. Okay, because see, we don't sell a lotion, potion, or pill. They're cryptogenics. We sell education to actually create financial freedom. Okay. That's not something you stack up in your garage and hope you sell. That's not something that you have to replenish every month. Okay. That is the best thing of all. Look, I'm just going to tell you, Joe ain't here, so I'm on a roll today. I'm not stopping or pausing or interrupting. I'm just going. So look, money is sexy, y'all. There are 3 things in the world that you will never, ever, ever, ever stop people from being involved with and getting excited about, right? 3 things. Do you know what they are? I'm probably going to get some hate mail for this, but I'm going to tell you what they are. Okay. 1, sex. Nobody's ever going to give up on sex. Number 2, money. Money. Okay. When you can help people make money, they are all about you. Okay. All about you. And freedom. And freedom looks different to everybody. Okay. So you can't really say time freedom or money freedom or whatever, because, or maybe it's religious freedom. It's freedom. We're just going to give it that name, freedom. Okay. So those are the 3 things. Money is sexy, y'all. Money is sexy. Who can't talk about money and making more of it? Hello. Okay. It doesn't matter if it's a cryptocurrency or a fiat currency. It's still sexy. Okay. You're not stacking it up. You're not hoping you sell it. You're not on auto ship for it. You're creating your own windfall. That's beautiful. Okay. So I'm going to talk to you guys in the upcoming days. I've made some notes. If you keep seeing me look over here, it's because my notebook is over here, and I try to stay on point and make sure that I cover everything, and also watch the time and make sure that I don't keep people too long. And I was going to go into this today, but we've went down a rabbit hole, and so I'm not going to keep you guys. This deserves more time than I want to give it today. So, but what I will do is I will tell you this: the reward for good work is more work. Okay. So if you're doing well, you're going to do it more, and you're going to do it better, and you're going to create a better way to do it. Okay. You're going to find an easier solution. Okay. Because everybody does. It's human nature. So the thing that I want to talk about is social media. Okay. And what you should or shouldn't share on social media. It's come to my attention over the course of the last couple weeks that there's a lot of people out there that are brand new to social media and to putting themselves out in social media. And for some of you who know me intimately, you know that I was retired. And so I'm doing a lot of self-improvement and self-education on a lot of these things, right? And because of that, I am being refreshed myself on a lot of this stuff. You're absolutely right, Jeff. It's not the most important thing, but it sure does help. It greases the wheels a lot. So, I began to start looking because I wasn't socially active, I guess. Like I was in a box. I would go on to, I have all kinds of social media accounts that I haven't used. I've got an Instagram account and a Twitter account that I opened in 2009, right? 2009. And I just went back to them in the last couple of weeks and kind of cleaned them up and changed some information and kind of made them relevant to what I'm doing now. And so I'm getting more active on social media. We're doing these lives, we're doing YouTubes, we're doing presentations, we're doing Zooms. So we're learning to be more active. So it's come to my attention that not only did I maybe not know all the things or know the correct things that we should or should not be sharing, but I know, Dawn, I didn't know the login. I had to reset the password and everything. It was crazy on both accounts, like whatever. So, but there are 5 things that the experts say. If you're in marketing, if you're a visual person in your industry, that you should be sharing. 5 things that you should be sharing on social media. And luckily, I've been doing those by pure ignorance. I didn't know. Okay. I didn't know. I now know. I'm now educated. Okay. So I'm doing them now because I'm educated, but I was doing them before by default. And I'm going to tell you what those 5 things are, and we're going to talk about each one of them. We may even do a whole segment on one at a time. Okay. To make sure that, and I want it to be interactive. I want you guys to communicate back and forth with me in the comments about it. But there are 5 things that we absolutely should be sharing on social media, 5 guidelines that we should be sharing on social media if you are a leader in your industry. And so even if you're not a leader in your industry, I think it would be great to put these things in play prior to becoming a leader, because then it will be second nature to you, and you will have created a story behind you. So, don't say, well, I'm not there yet. Okay. You are there. You are there. And it's really interesting. I'm going to leave it at that, because if I don't, I'm going to spill the beans, and I don't want to spill the beans. But absolutely, you want to know these 5 things. You want to make sure that you are sharing these 5 things, and there'll be eye openers. And once you know these 5 things, you'll be on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or whatever, Pinterest, and you'll see people doing these 5 things, and you'll go, hey, that's one of those 5 things. And you'll automatically recognize that they are positioning themselves to be a leader in their industry. Okay. So definitely want to get on tomorrow for that. What we'll do tomorrow is we'll actually announce the 5. And if there's not a lot of interaction, we can blow through them. If there is a lot of interaction, we'll get as far as we can, and we'll save the rest for another day. But I definitely want you guys to know this. And again, it's all about sharing. Okay. It's all about being able to share with one another and give other people the confidence to know that they're doing the right stuff. Okay. So that's huge to me. We're gonna kind of end the crypto let's talk kind of stuff for now, and we're going to jump into our KGX updates. So I definitely want to strive and point out again, ladies and gentlemen, we have the event in Chicago, 6/8/18, 6/8/18. Exactly, Bethany. Sharing is caring, because and we tell our son that all the time. Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. And believe you me, if you've got something that he doesn't got, he wants you to share it with him. So I think that we're all kids inside, and if we can embrace that child inside, then we can learn to share with one another more effectively. So I think that's awesome. And you're right, Jeffrey. It is absolutely hard to figure out exactly where they fall. But you know what? We're going to help people to do that. And everyone's level of extravagance is different. So we're going to allow people to see what that looks like and make that decision for themselves. It's really great points and comments today, y'all. So we have Chicago. Chicago's coming up quickly, 6/8/18. If you're going to be in that area or have people in that area, let's get them over there, okay? It will impact their lives. They will thank you. Believe me, they will thank you if you get them to that event and they get to shake some of these people's hands and they get to ask questions in person. These are great. Don't get me wrong. Because it breaks the barrier down. You're not just typing to someone that you don't know, you don't see, you don't really know the person or their personality. So these break all those barriers down, but there's still something about being able to shake somebody's hand or, have a cup of coffee with them or take a sandwich with them at lunch, and be able to confide in them and ask them questions one-on-one in person. It's a great thing. So definitely Chicago, get to that boot camp. All of the information is on our blog, KGX blog. And if you do not have, excuse me, if you do not have access to that, then hit me up and I'll help you get access to it. Okay. Also, we have our presentations, which are highly successful. Our success rate with new people on these presentations is off the hook. I mean, we got this down. You know, the presentation is it's boom, 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 boom. We answer people's questions before they ever ask them, and you know they see the light very quickly. So I recommend that you get people on these presentations. Where's the location? kgxglobal.info. kgxglobal.info. Okay. Just go to that, put that in your search bar, hit enter. It'll take you to a Zoom that will automatically open for you. You log right in, you're done. You don't have to say a word. You don't have to turn your camera on, but you can get the information. These take place on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at kgxglobal.info. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. Joe and I actually do the one on Monday nights and the 3 o'clock on Tuesdays. And then we have Stephen McCullough, Matt Sheriff, Brandon Ivy, and Dr. Michael that rotate and do some of those others during the week. And all of them are fantastic. They all know the presentation very well. They're all very smooth with it. You can probably, you know, if someone asks you how long will it take, tell them 30 minutes or less. I don't think any of us are going over 30 minutes. So 30 minutes or less, and they have the information and they can get back to you. Please know this, and someone asked me this the other day, and I've been meaning to bring it up on the live, and I keep forgetting. Please know this. No one is ever poached when you send someone to these presentations, okay? What happens if you haven't been to one of these presentations, what happens is at the end, the presenter will, after the disclaimer, ask the people that are on the call to please get back with the person that sent them there, get all their questions answered. If they can't answer the questions, get their person to reach up to Pinnacle Leadership and or to the Core 5 and get their questions answered so that you can help them get started. No one is ever poached. They're always sent back to the person that referred them to the information, okay? Please know that. We're all very, very, very adamant about that, and we're all above board with that. No cross-recruiting. Additionally, our blog is our heartbeat. Okay, our blog is our heartbeat. If you want to know what's going on in KGX, you got to go to the blog. Okay, the information hits the blog before it goes anywhere else. So you want to stay up to date. You definitely want to use the blog. I know that we're really close to 3,000 members. I also know that we're in like 84 countries. I also know that we officially have most of the text material translated in over 22 languages so far, or 23, 24, something like that. I don't know. It goes up every day. So, you know, our programmers, our translators, our core team behind us, including the Core 5, they're hard at work. So if you don't hear from them or you don't see them, you got to know that they're in the background getting all this stuff done for us. Okay. So just keep your head down, stay vigilant, keep sharing, keep loving one another, and keep coming back to these lives, because I've gotten to where I'm addicted to them now. I love you guys. I love each and every one of you. I love the people that type in replay and tell us that they caught it later because they missed it during the day. And I absolutely love being able to share and help other people. It is a passion of mine. Anyone who knows me knows that. I always want others to win. That is my number one goal. And if there's anything that I can do to help that take place, I am up for that every day. So with that being said, we're 5 minutes to the 3 o'clock KGX presentation. So if you would like to jump on over there, today is Thursday. I believe Brandon Ivy is doing it today, I think, at 3 o'clock. I could be wrong. I can't keep up with everybody's schedule. I do good to keep up with mine. But it's kgxglobal.info. Jump on over there and get that presentation. We love you guys. Thank you. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Talk to you soon.